Hello, I want to talk about deep, deep motivation we have, the last train stop on our motivational adventure, basically. So, for example, if somebody wants to get healthy, do they want to be that just because they are afraid of something, or are they avoiding something like, I want to be young because I'm afraid of wrinkles, or I'm afraid of becoming sick, or I just want to be perceived as a healthy person because those things are destroying that ride basically, compared to a person who is more relaxed and just has a pure motivational origin, which is not based on something that is to be avoided, feared, or something extremely rooted in some egoistic perception of oneself. And this goes for many other things, like it can be also related to ideas, political ideas, human rights, animal rights, and there's no way to tell. But what's most important and what's most liberating is that no matter what your goal is, that if you have the last train station or the deepest basement in your mind, if that one is based on fear or something you avoid, dislike, and you want to avoid that dislike, anything like that, that will not last, because those states of mind are good for us for surviving, basically, to leave a burning house. And those were more important when we lived as hunter-gatherers. But we evolved. There is an evolution. We have not come to the center of our evolution. I mean, to the peak. We are still evolving. So that's why I constantly meet this sort of lamenting of, I try so hard, but I don't succeed. Well, most likely it's because you really don't want that which you want to succeed in, and you want to succeed in something which perhaps you don't want to, because you don't want to be perceived as somebody, as something, basically. You want to be perceived as somebody who's healthy, who is good. Maybe you are part of some human animal rights thing, just because you want to be perceived as somebody more compassionate than you deep down are, and these things don't matter to sort of talk about. It's most important for you, because if you can make sure that, my motivation is pure, the well I drink from my essence is pure, it's endless, then you have nothing to worry about. Then you will succeed, you will be happy in the long run. That's simple, because that's like sugar and ants. They just attract each other. But the problem is people are not honest, and we need to be brutally honest with ourselves, and that takes about 5 minutes if you're really honest. But perhaps it can be really hard if someone has been lying to oneself for years and years, and always finding excuses and projecting one's own inner sort of fears and ambivalence onto some other thing outside of oneself. For those people, it can be like shattering, and something they avoid until they die, basically. But there's greatness to be found just in sort of being totally honest with oneself and being pro yourself, having this sort of pure flow coming through you in whatever you want to be. And some people, as I said, just want to be healthy. Some want to be perceived as good, be part of some organizations. Some people want to achieve things in life because they think that would somehow make them more respectable, or maybe they will gain some social status. But all that is just rubbish. It's not honest to yourself, and in the end to nobody else. And this simple way to avoid this is just to have no fear motive, nothing you're afraid of, nothing you avoid, nothing you want to achieve just to change your status somewhere. because from my like experience and from those people who have taught me, basically, they are coming from various parts of life. They are all very, very successful in what they do, and you know, from an ignorant point of perspective, you might seem, oh, they are really like they care so much, but in the end, like, they have succeeded with what they want, but they don't really care because there was nothing there to care about anyway. It has just been a journey, you know. You want to achieve this goal, maybe you want to have more time in your life, maybe you want to have more money for some reason, you want to have more creativity, you want to have some more social surroundings. It can be anything. What I know, maybe you also want to be a hermit, you know, just keep to yourself. And that is all very easy, because apparently when you have this sort of clear mind intention, it doesn't really matter like where you are at the beginning, in the middle, or in the end, so to say, because you are very much at peace with yourself. You're not fleeing from anything. And this is something very important, and something which, you know, you can't just always like comment on this when people lament and they talk about this and that it's such an obvious pattern in human life, especially if you experience that yourself, both like the practice of it and the change to becoming aware of that, and also the realization when you lost that, because babies, children, they are very much I mean, when I look at my daughter, she has a very pure intention. It might be up to no good sometimes, you know, she wants up, but it's pure. And the sort of thing to accomplish in life is to keep that purity while still shielding yourself from the rubbish outside, and still maintaining your own focus and whatever goal you have. Or I don't know, is goal the right word, or world for that matter, because the journey is what's important, and you actually never learn anything, you never complete anything. You can always either become more better or just enjoy this sort of state of achieving something. So that's that, like, keep the well in your mind fresh and clean, synchronize your mind, guts and heart, and when they are in unity, when you're honest with yourself, what you want, how you get there, satisfaction level will just be destroyed, because there is no high low. There's just like, this is I, this is you, you know, that's all there is to it. So that was that, some short thoughts on that while packing stuff. We're leaving soon. Yeah, take care and all the best. Ciao.